Poop, doodle heavy like brick, dog. Big fat stinky, yup. Shit stinks good, yup.
Poop, doodle heavy like brick, dog. Big fat stinky, yup. Shit stinks good, yup.
Hey, it's your boy, Young Butt Piss. Remember when I went to jail a couple months ago and I said it was going to be my last time? Sequel, bitch.
It is therefore ordered Jerice Hawthorne is sentenced to a term of 120 days to the Des Moines County Jail, but 30 days shall be suspended pending Mr. Hawthorne's compliance with the court's November 3rd, 2025 judgment entry and ruling to take down all defamatory social media posts and those videos Mr. Hawthorne has made about plaintiffs.
Yeah, so basically I went to jail for making videos that were too funny. Also, I can't find my mugshot online. Can someone find that and send it to me? I can't find it. I might be like really stupid. However, I do have this piece of paper. This is my small black and white mugshot, right? I'm smirking in the picture. That's the face of a man who didn't regret posting those videos. Now anyways, remember, this is a sequel to me saying I would never go to jail again before going to jail again. Now, the thing with sequels is they usually always suck, especially comedy sequels. But I'm going to make sure that this sequel stands up on its own. It's going to be better than the first. Listen, the first time I went to jail, I was able to generate 20 minutes of content out of that. I was in jail for 26 days. Now, let's get the question out of the way. Did I get raped? No. The only damage my asshole took were from the burritos that were served to us during lunch. Now, let's start on April 1st. That's when I got arrested again. And because it was April Fool's Day, I thought no one was going to believe me, so I just didn't make a big announcement about it. And I was going to be like, okay, once I get out of jail, I'll tell them about it. So, here, let's get into it. First off, the cop who greets me when I walk through the doors of the Des Moines County Jail, he looked almost exactly like J.K. Simmons, but completely bald. Now, J.K. Simmons, he's a very mean-looking man. Like he usually plays an asshole in all the movies he's in, you know? I mean, have you guys seen Whiplash? But, of course, he's mostly known for playing Jonah Jameson. Anyways, he looks like this mean fucking dude. And then he starts talking. He starts fucking talking. So, you know that scene from Grown Ups, the Adam Sandler movie, where that hot, fucking ripped guy walks up to all their wives and starts speaking like SpongeBob and they burst out laughing at him? That's what it was like to hear this gay K. Simmons voice. He was like,
Hi, it says here you already served 4 days and 1 hour in jail, so you're gonna get out early.
I promise he sounded like that. He sounded like the most nasally fucking... I need to pull my tongue back in my mouth. There's a nasally... think of the minority group that has a lot of bad stereotypes associated with it. You know who I'm talking about. He sounded like a very nasally and feminine version of one of those people, okay? Sorry, my animated movie got taken off of YouTube because of all the jokes I made about that certain group of people. So if you notice my animated videos, my animated movie's gone, that's why. If you notice any other movies of mine are gone, it's because I legally had to take them down unless I want to go back to jail for 120 cock meat sandwiches daily. So we're not going to do that. So, anyways, J.K. Simmons talked like a very feminine man. Gay K. Simmons. I want photos of Spider-Man! And make sure he's naked. Make sure I can see that bulge in his suit. I'm Jonah Jameson. Get those pictures, Parker! I got bitches. I got a bitch in my bed. I got a bitch. She ain't thick. She husky. You know what I'm saying, nigga? And then there's this other cop who was just this gargantuan fat fuck. He was the gluttonous pile of fuck. The biggest example of gluttony ever, listen, of biblical proportions was this man's gluttony level, okay? He was so fat that you could just tell he was fat by his voice alone. You know how you can tell when someone's black or gay when you hear their voice without even having to look at them? Oh my god, I gotta bleach my fucking asshole. Oh, okay, well that guy's gay. Shit, nigga. Oh, damn, look at that bitch. She got a fat ass, bitch. I want to smell that boob, nigga. Shit. So you know he's black based on how he talked right there. Now, how the fat guy spoke, he had a lard accent. You know, there's a black scent, there's a gay scent, and now this is the lard scent, okay? He talked like this. I'm not even kidding. He talked like, oh, so, looks like we're going to be in jail for 26 days. Like, he sounded like he had constant acid reflux every fucking second. He was gargling on his own fucking words. Like he had water and puke in his goddamn throat. Like it was just like, and he never, not once did he take a step and not make an extremely obnoxious noise. He'd take a step. I'm going to go demonstrate really quick. And now I'm filming in my car like Elliot Rodger, or like your typical conservative who films in his fucking pickup truck with sunglasses on. Here, where's my sunglasses? Oh yeah, okay, here. All I need now is like a fucking fuck-ass beard, and I could be your average conservative who rants in his car. Here, let's put on the sunglasses. Yeah, so anyways, that's how fat that dude was. Like there was like actually a moment where he's taking me to the nurse, which comes later in the story, and he just sounded like he needed the nurse more than me. He's like behind me going, like it sounded like he was just gonna puke at any second. He gargled his words. You know how people say eating your words, like the way they, like it sounds like people are chewing their words when they speak. This guy was gargling his fucking words. I feel like every letter was just like, I don't know. Okay, I'll stop going on about how fat this dude is. So we have to talk about the third officer I saw when I first walked into the Des Moines County Jail. He needs to shave his mustache. Like the third one, he had the worst mustache I've ever seen in my life. And at first glance, it looked like he just swabbed his asshole with his finger and just rubbed it on his fucking upper lip. Oh yeah, that's my dirty Sanchez right there. Like it just didn't work at all. I also suspect that he may have been on the spectrum. The way, because he spoke almost exactly like Mark Zuckerberg. Like very like socially awkward, and like everything he said sounded like robotic as shit. Anyways, now I talked to these three officers, and then they asked me questions. Are you suicidal? Do you take any medications? Are you a registered sex offender? Are you in a state of mind where you believe you are being controlled and your thoughts are not your own? Do you think someone's controlling you? I said no to all of them, even though I do hear voices in my head, and I do take medications. I just stopped taking them 4 years ago. Now, this part comes back later in the story. So then they throw me into an orange jumpsuit, and they take me to GP, General Population, right? I walk in there, I walk upstairs to my room, and there's a bunk bed in there. And how the bunk beds are designed, there's no ladder, there are no steps to get onto the top bunk. And obviously I had a roommate who had already claimed the bottom bunk, right? So if you roll, and also there's no like railing on the top bunk, so if you roll off in your sleep, you're gonna kiss concrete. Anyways, like the guy with tattoos on his face, he's laying on the bottom bunk, and he's like, "You a pedophile?" I'm like, "No." He's like, "Well, as long as you don't touch kids, I don't have a problem with you." And then I said, "Well, do you remember me? I was in here like 2 months ago for like the videos thing." He's like, "Oh, I do remember you." Now, remember, in the first video where I talk about going to jail, I spent 2 of those days in the Fort Madison jail, here in Fort Madison. And the cops at the Fort Madison jail, I have no issue with them at all. They were all cool as fuck. Anyways, in my first video where I talked about getting arrested, I talked about how all the inmates wanted to see my paperwork, but I didn't have it with me at the time. I had paperwork now. So everyone in the jail cell, they asked, "Hey, you a registered sex offender? You have a sex case pending? You a pedophile?" I'm like, "No." I showed them the paperwork, which I can't show you all of it, but because it has the plaintiff's names on it, and I'm not supposed to say their names anymore, although the judge specifically said he didn't give a shit about like all the things I said where I was mocking them or saying their names when I wasn't supposed to. He only cared that I did not delete the videos I was supposed to delete. He didn't care that I was being an arrogant shithead, because in the exhibits that the plaintiffs and their lawyer filed, there's one screenshot where I'm saying, "Lick my butt, whore! Take me to jail, bitch! You won't do shit! You ain't gonna touch me, nigga! You ain't gonna touch me. You ain't gay, nigga. You ain't gonna touch me, nigga. Hey, I am knowingly committing contempt of court by saying their names and not deleting the videos. Take me to jail." The judge saw that and said, "Shit, I got you, little nigga." Threw my ass in jail. No, but he looked at it in a completely unbiased way. Anyways, play dead, buddy. All right, so as I was saying. Okay, so I'm in general population. I show them all my paperwork, right? And remember, it says, Jarice Hawthorne is sentenced to a term of 120 days, and he's only going to do 30 as long as he deletes the defamatory social media posts and videos. So I showed all my inmates that, and they're like, defamatory? What's that mean, man? What that mean, man? What sorry, they didn't say defamatory. They said defamatory? Oh my God. I don't belong in this. I didn't belong in that fucking jail at all. They had extremely weak vernacular, and they probably think vernacular is a vein in someone's body. Listen, I started to get the impression that all my inmates were kids who got bullied in school for not being able to read well, and everyone would just pick them during popcorn reading to hear them stutter over any word that's longer than 4 letters. These people were fucking ape-brained monkey twats, okay? These people sucked ass in the brain. There's doo-doo in their brains, doo-doo and cheese in their fucking brains. These motherfuckers are stupid, okay? And I'm like explaining what defamatory means, but I must have explained it in a condescending way without realizing it that made them feel extremely stupid, because one of the cops overheard the inmates saying they wanted to kill me. I'm like, what, did I really offend you that bad? I mean, I'm not a sex offender, and I don't think I was that rude when I explained what defamatory means. I think he could tell. I think he could probably see the visceral disgust in my face because I clearly looked down on him for his extremely low IQ. I think even if I don't mean to sound condescending, I probably still came across that way. So then the cops come over to me and they're like, hey, we got to move you for your safety. I'm like, why? I'm busy watching Wheel of Fortune on this TV with no sound. Okay, can you see I'm busy, buddy? And then they take me, they have me pack all my shit, and then they take me to the front of the police station. They put the cuffs back on me, and they're like, you're going to the Mount Pleasant jail, and you'll like it there. Their food is a lot better. Well, I didn't get a chance to experience that food. We're going to get into that. So they drag me all the way to the Mount Pleasant jail, and then I'm sitting there, and he's doing the report, and he's like, blah, 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 blah. And then I asked, hey, am I able to get my own cell? Or am I going to have to share it with someone? He's like, I mean, you're going to be in a room with like 6 different people on bunk beds, which is exactly what it was like in Lee County, Fort Madison jail. But I'm like, well, I don't want to get raped. I don't want to get shanked. And I know they all claim the bottom bunk, so I don't want to roll off the top bunk and kiss concrete. So I said the one thing that you can say to ensure you get your own cell. I said, would it be a problem if I committed suicide the moment I got to my cell? And without even looking away from his computer, he says, "Here. I'm gonna try to visualize this for you." Okay. Yeah, that would be a problem. Yeah. and then he's like, "Okay, we'll put you over in Max, which is maximum security, right?" But then something happens. The Des Moines County Police come back to Mount Pleasant. They pick me up and take me back up there. And then the really fat guy I was describing earlier, he was like, did something change? I'm like, huh? He's like, well, we asked if you were suicidal. You said no, and then you get to Mount Pleasant, and you say yes. Did something change? I'm like, yeah. And he's like, is it just because you're in jail? Because according to this, you're only going to be here for like 30 days. Like, why would you be suicidal over that? And I had to think of another lie. I was like, well, officer, reputational damage. I have a very sizable online following. And if they find out I went to jail, it could really ruin my reputation. I mean, I have this glorious image to uphold. Now, you guys know that's bullshit, because I bragged about going to jail last time, and I make songs with the most heinous titles and heinous lyrics imaginable. You guys know that's bullshit. He didn't, because he had never seen me online before. So he was like, well, I mean, you're only in here for not deleting videos immediately. I mean, there's celebrities who do much worse, and they go on to have prospering careers. And I'm like, yeah, but you know how misinformation spreads, officer. I just want to, yeah, I know. And he's like, oh, okay, well, I guess we have to take it seriously. I guess we have to fucking do something. Guess I have to get off my fat ass and do something. So then they fucking changed me out of this fit. Wait, no, I was already in the orange jumpsuit. Yeah, I was in an orange jumpsuit. And then I'm going to show you what they put on me, what they made me fucking wear. God fucking damn it. Yes, that is what I had. Okay, I finally fucking found it. Damn it. Damn. That's what I had to wear when I told them I was suicidal. You see, it's basically a dress. One hole at the bottom where both your legs go through, 3 on the top of your head, and your arms go through. Also, I wasn't allowed to wear underwear underneath there because people can choke themselves out with underwear. Like, I'm not kidding. Like that's what they made me wear. And orange sandals with it. So I'm wearing a blue dress, orange sandals. And then they take me somewhere called the Special Status Unit. So let's look up what that is. So this was the reason I got put there. Mentally ill inmates. Inmates who are unable to follow rules due to mental illness, often acting as a dumping ground for those with psychiatric conditions. I told them I was suicidal. So I got put into the Special Status Unit so I could be heavily monitored. Now there was only one other guy in there and he was in a cell by himself. So here, I'm gonna try to map it out for you. My cell's right here. This guy's cell's right here. There's a shower in between both of our cells with no curtain. That's what the room looked like. Oh, and there was a TV in there. And there was also a window where cops can like walk by, so they could just see you showering because there's no curtain if they wanted to glance in through the window or whatever. Now, I want to tell you about the other guy that was in there. Cause this guy is probably someone who I figured this guy is probably someone who did not lie about being suicidal. But when I got there, he wasn't wearing a blue dress like I was. He was in his orange jumpsuit. The first thing I saw him do when I walked in was this. Like, he was just like dancing in the middle of his fucking cell for no reason. Also, I was like wondering, why is he actually in here? Because it's clearly not for suicidal thoughts. Well, so I was always let out of my cell for like 1 hour so I could like sit at the table and watch whatever was on TV. And then I look over at him and he's laughing and talking to someone who genuinely is just not there. Like and sometimes he would have arguments with whoever this was. So I'm gonna recite everything that I remember on the top of my head. I'm gonna recite everything he said. I remember him saying, shit. Fuck you, bitch! Fuck you, bitch! Hey! 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 Fuck you, bitch! I am not fucking with you guys, okay? He was probably arguing with his imaginary girlfriend, I imagine. Listen, I'm not a victim blamer by any means, but sometimes these imaginary bitches need to get their ass beat, and that's what he was doing, right? And then one time, I was sitting at the table watching him laugh and talk to someone who wasn't there, and when he noticed me staring at him, he stopped laughing and did this. I'm like, oh my god, I'm glad they're not letting him out the same time as me. It was like I was in a mini fucking asylum. And he would scream, like every night when I was trying to sleep. Like I'd be like trying to sleep, I could hear him, ah! Ah! Also, for every dinner we were given bologna sandwiches. It was never anything different. It was always bologna sandwiches for dinner specifically. He would take you know how those alt girls with like bright red hair or whatever, they talk about astrology and crystals and they put crystals on their windowsill. He was taking the bologna off of his sandwiches and like just lining it up on his fucking windowsill as if they were crystals. And they would harden over the course of like weeks, and they would just like listen, they started off flat and they just started standing up by themselves like chips. I don't know why he was doing that, but the whole unit fucking smelled like shit. It smelled like rotten fucking meat when I first walked in there. Now I know why. He collects bologna. I don't know. The only good smell in that unit was when one of the female officers came in with perfume. Like, listen. I shouldn't say that. Oh, I shouldn't. Listen, I'm just saying, if that female officer's fart smelled as good as her fucking perfume, I would have buried my nose in that ass and had her fart up my nostrils all fucking day. Now, my cell didn't smell much better. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Because when I got to my cell in the Special Status Unit, first thing I noticed, no toilet paper, no soap, no toothbrush, no toothpaste. Because I was like, oh, well, I guess people could try to kill themselves with those items. Sorry, people are asking me how it was in jail. It was actually pretty fucking boring, but I'm gonna tell you all the funny parts and the interesting parts. You never know how much you rely on your phone till you go in jail and can't have a phone. But anyways, let's get into why I stunk. Like, because there was no toilet paper in my cell, no soap, nothing to wash my hands with, nothing to even, like, no soap to shower with. And I was like, okay, well, you know, I mean, not wiping, not my first rodeo. So I took some creamy fucking shits and let the fucking poop harden and crust on my asshole, and it would sound like tree bark when I picked it off.
Oh.
But, well, actually, it didn't crust or harden enough. Because, you know, you want to know what happened when I went about a week without wiping my ass? You know how when a woman puts lipstick on her lips and then kisses a mirror and it leaves an imprint of her lips there? That's what my asshole was doing every time I sat somewhere. And even made the sound of when I get up off of it. So, the stool I had in there was just branded with my chocolate puckered asshole, as well as the mattress I was sleeping on, just complete shit all over it every time I sat on it. So then I had to flip the mattress over, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have to start cleaning my ass. Would you like to know how I wipe my ass? Because you're not gonna like the how. You see this hand? Well, there was a sink right there by the toilet, so I just would wet it up and just start fucking literally scraping the shit off my ass, all up into my fucking fingernails, washing it off in the sink, going back down there, just washing it off my ass over and over and over and over and over again. And remember, there's no hand soap in there, so I'm eating sandwiches and food with shitty fucking hands that you could absolutely smell the shit on. Now, the bad part about this is I assumed I wasn't allowed to have toilet paper because I'm in the special status unit. But then one of the female officers says, 2 weeks after I've been incarcerated, I've been arrested, she's like, do you need toilet paper? And I'm like, I can have that? I've just been knuckle deep in my asshole for no reason! And also, apparently, I was also allowed to have toothbrush and toothpaste. All I had to do was ask. But why do I have to ask for those things? Shouldn't I just be given that? And, oh my god. And also, there was a camera in my cell. I started off only getting in the shower to jerk off because it was a constant stream of lube, and then eventually I stopped giving a shit and just started jerking off in my bed right in front of the camera in my cell. I was like what's his name, Bert from Fish Tank, where he kept... Wait, is that his name? Bert? I don't know. Like the black bald guy from Fish Tank. He would just jerk off on camera all the time. Yeah, I just started jerking off in front of the camera in my cell. I stopped giving a shit. It was a very stinky time for those first 2 weeks where I was not wiping or showering unless I was, jerking off in there. So I smelled like balls, I smelled like taint, I smelled like armpits, I didn't have any deodorant either, I smelled like poop. So I'm walking back and forth in my cell smelling like a donkey's ass exploded in my fucking clothes. And also remember, I don't have any underwear. Right? I'm wearing this fucking blue dress with no underwear. So every time I would like wash my ass with my hand, the water would go down my legs and onto my feet. So it looks like I'm pissing myself constantly. Whenever I would step around the fucking cell, there's like these wet like footprints all over the cell. So it looked like to the officers that came in every 30 minutes to check on me, it looked like I was continuously pissing myself and just tracking it all over the cell. You know, I definitely looked like I deserved to be in the special status unit. And I would jerk off, and yes, I would jerk off in the shower that did not have a curtain, had a window right in front of the shower, like where cops could just walk by and look at me, like jerking off. I did not give a shit. I'm like, I need to bust, okay? I got busted by the cops, and now I'm busting in my cell. Ooh, bars. I wasn't allowed to have paper or pencil in there, but I used my extremely good memory to write jokes for my upcoming Tubi movie, approved for streaming. I even have an idea for a feature-length version of Meme Dealers that I may or may not make. The main reason I want to make a Meme Dealers movie is so I can use a joke that I didn't get to use for Meme Dealers 2 because I never finished the sequel. I had an idea for Meme Dealers 2 where someone takes a Bill Cosby meme and puts it into a woman's drink, and I really want an excuse to use that joke because only in a movie where memes have become illegal would that joke work. So I might make a Meme Dealers movie after approved for streaming. No promises though. I also came up with an idea for this sit-down comedy special right here, right? I probably have enough material to make up like an hour maybe? Maybe. Now, can you guys stop suing the Burlington Police Department? Their low budgets are starting to show because they didn't have melatonin to give me whenever I couldn't sleep. Because that guy in the other fucking cells, every fucking second fucking when I'm trying to sleep. So I couldn't sleep. This guy, this maniac, is screaming in the other cell. No one gives a shit. And also, I remember he just so happened to be sleeping too once, which is the only time I ever got to sleep, is when he fucking, I don't know, fucking mental freak out himself to sleep or something. Like whenever he would sleep, like you could see him through the window, he'd be like, every time he was fucking sleeping. What the fuck, man? I'm like, I don't belong here. I need to go fucking home. I thought I was a psycho. Holy fucking shit. I see, I'm not crazy. That's what crazy looks like. That's like back and forth in a rocking chair going, Barack Obama raped me! That's fucking crazy right there. I don't do that shit unless I'm joking around. This guy was keeping me up at night, and the fucking Burlington police didn't have any melatonin to give me. The Fort Madison police had melatonin. The Fort Madison police had better food. The Fort Madison police, they got a budget. Stop fucking suing the Burlington Police Department just because they shot one of your relatives unfairly. That was fucked up. That was fucked up. That was fucked up. I shouldn't have said that, but it was funny, so I said it. They didn't have any melatonin to give me, so I'm like, okay. What lie do I tell to get some sort of pill that makes me tired? And then I remembered something. Risperidone. That's the schizophrenia medication I used to take. I stopped taking it 4 years ago. So I'm like, okay. Because I remember specifically risperidone would make me sleepy at night whenever I would take it. And I would only ever take it at night. So then I was like, to every single cop who came in, I'm like, hey, officer, do you see Satan standing in the corner of my cell? I said that every day for a week, and they finally took me to go see the nurse. They took a whole week to be like, okay, maybe this guy needs his head checked out a little more. And then I'm going to the nurse with that gargantuan fat fuck behind me going, shit! Fuck! Slight exaggeration, but listen, actually not an exaggeration at all. I wish I had a fucking master ball so I could have had a level 100 Snorlax in my inventory, okay? So we get to the nurse's room, and the nurse is a guy. Ugh. Listen, remove the guy with the dick, bring him the bitch with tits. I want the bitch with tits looking at me, you know what I'm saying? But this guy, I mean, listen, he made intense eye contact with me the entire time. It was so fucking gay, I was uncomfortable. But yeah, I told him, yeah, I'm seeing Satan in my cell. Now, I've been hearing Satan for 4 years, but I only started seeing him once I came to jail. And he's like, all right. And I'm like, yeah, I'm the Antichrist, by the way. And the nurse is like, oh, well, we actually have risperidone on our shelf. We'll get that to you so you can get your thoughts in order. And then right before I went out the door, I did this. Because I wanted to see the fat cop try to get out of the chair he was sitting in, see if he struggled or not. And he didn't. I'm like, fuck. Shit, that could have been funny. So then I started taking my risperidone, and I slept like a fucking baby for the entirety of my unsuspended sentence. I'm like, yeah, 1-0 butt piss. Oink oink with your dumb ass. So yeah, I'm sitting in my cell and I'm looking at the TV because I can see it from my window. Judge Judy was playing, which bored me, so I slammed my head so hard into my fucking bed that I think my skull cracked a little bit when I took a nap, because the other guy just so happened to be napping as well. And then I woke up to 2.5 Men, seeing Charlie Sheen on there. And they let me out during my hour while 2.5 Men was playing. And then there was like one part in that show where a woman with huge tits and like a low cut like top was on it. And the guy in the other cell, he was like looking out of his cell like that. I'm like, oh yeah, well, monkey brain got stimulated, didn't it? You shot boobies, ooga booby, ooh. So the problem with the TV is it had subtitles, no sound, and I couldn't really tell what was going on if I was watching it from my cell, so I asked for the remote and I changed it to the only cartoon channel they had, PBS Kids. Now listen, I don't even fuck with Sesame Street like that, but in jail, Elmo was my nigga. No, I don't want this app to make changes to my device. But they also had Curious George. I fucked with that shit heavy. Now the other shows they had were really poorly like animated. There was like something like I don't know. I only fucked with Sesame Street and Curious George. Then I asked to change the channel again, and it changed to, is it a Pawn Star? Some kind of pawn shop show with Rick, is his name Rick Harrison? Is it something, some bald dude who's, I don't know. Anyways, but there was another show that played after that called Women on Patrol. And I'm like, Women on Patrol, I gotta see that shit. That sounds funny. I want to see some bitches getting knocked over. And the female cop in that show was fat. Listen, I get everyone wants, listen, you should always follow your dreams. But if you're fat, you have no business being a cop. Who are you gonna catch? You can't even catch a salad. Like, you have no business being a cop. And then a female officer? Are you shitting me? A female officer trying to intimidate a man is like a puppy snarling at a wolf. I'm sorry, but if a female officer who's also fat tries to like manhandle me, I'm pushing that bitch over and I'm running. I mean, I'm sorry. I mean, she's not. What the fuck is she gonna do? The only power she has is that gun. And also, in the Women on Patrol, I was disappointed whenever it would get rowdy, they would call a male officer to come and do the job for her. I'm like, no! I want to see that bitch struggle! I want to see that bitch! I want to see Porky Pig fucking run! Listen, pig is a derogatory statement for cops, so if you're gonna be a cop, you should definitely cut back on the fucking bacon. There is no reason for you to be fat and also a fucking cop. How did you even pass the test? Okay? They probably only signed on so they get free pepper spray because they thought they could spray it on their fucking food like the fat fucks they are. Also, there was this cop who was like, he was like a fun-sized cop. He was extremely short. Like, it was a short king in a cop's outfit. Listen, you know how I said if you're fat, you have no business being a cop? That applies to short people too. If you're short, you shouldn't be a cop. Because I was towering over this fucking dude. Okay? I could have fucked this little midget's wife. He would have walked in with his dick tucked between his legs, craft beer in one hand, tofu sandwich in the other, and the only thing he'd be able to say is, "Hey man, you don't go doing that with my wife, pal." And then I could have towered over him, lift him up, and just break his back over my knee like Bane did to Batman, and then I would have been looking down at him like, "Now you don't feel left out because I blew your back out too." It was just like, what the fuck are you doing? Get the fuck out of here. You're a short king, not a cop. I get it. You want to follow your dreams or whatever. This shit ain't for you, buddy. This shit. Listen, you know how they call the smallest pig in a farm a runt? That's what that motherfucker was. He was a runt. Now, let's talk about the library that they had there. Because at 5:30 every Sunday, you're allowed to go to the library. But they kept trying to weasel out of taking me. Probably because I smelled like shitty doo-doo caca, right? So there was this button inside my cell. You ring it, and the intercom, someone comes on the intercom, they're like, "What do you need, Hawthorne?" So I rang it, and I'm like, "I would like to go to the library." And they're like, "Oh, we'll wait until after dinner." So in 30 seconds, I counted to 30, rang it again. "Hey, I would like to go to the library." He's like, I said after dinner. After another 30 seconds, I ring it again. Every 30 seconds, I continue pressing this button, annoying the fuck out of him, until a cop finally shows up, and he's like, "You want to go to the library?" I'm like, "Yeah." And I turn around and hit the fucking button again and ask to go to the library. And remember, I smell like shit! And this cop had to walk me all the way to the library. I knew he had to have been holding his fucking breath, bro. I smelled like, because remember, this is before I got some toilet paper, so my hands are poopy. You couldn't see the poop, but you could smell the poop. And also I smelled like balls, and you could smell the taint mayo, because I was wearing no underwear underneath the schmuck or whatever, right? So he's taking this magical stink ball over to the library. Now let me describe the library. It was a room smaller than my jail cell, and it looked like a room in the back rooms. The walls were painted like that very like faded yellow, and the only sound in that room was the hum of the fluorescent lights above, like, and I could hear my own heart pounding. It was so quiet in there. And I'm like looking at all the books on the shelves, and they were the exact type of books that you would find on your great 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 grandmother's bookshelf. They were old as shit. All the pages were yellow. Some of the books had mold in them. It was disgusting. So I picked 3 random books. One of them was a Jurassic Park book. I didn't know Jurassic Park was based on a book. And another one was about a woman who cheats on her husband. And I know that book was unrealistic because the guy she cheated on her husband with didn't even go to jail at the end. So I went to 0 out of 10 on that book. And the third book was about a guy who can communicate with animals. Not Dr. Dolittle. He was white in this one. And I'm like taking my finger, I'm like rubbing it against all the books like this, like, what do we got here? Knowing damn well my fingers smell like monkey testicles. And also, as the cops walking me back after I picked my 3 books, I thought it would be funny to say... I thought it would be funny to fucking say. I fucking looked at him. I'm holding book. Oh, do I have any books to like? Here, I'll use my own books over here. Okay, here. I got my 3 of my own fucking books to do this with. I'm walking with the cop, and I'm like, "Hey, you smell shit." I smelled fucking horrible. I smelled worse than I smell when I'm here. Listen, I say I don't shower, which is generally true, but I do, like, listen, it's at least twice a week, which is not, you need to be bathing more than that, but here in the jail, I genuinely did not shower once for a month. Like, when I say I go months without shower, it's just a fucking exaggeration. And if I do shower, I certainly use soap when I'm here. But yeah, no shower, no deodorant, nothing to scrape my taint mayo with, no like butter knife. I could be like, and then just wipe it on my fucking blanket or whatever. And then he takes me back in my cell, and I read the Jurassic Park book first. It was phenomenal, by the way. I've never read a book where it feels like I'm watching a movie. And it made me wish that, so it was Jurassic Park Lost World. The movie doesn't even do anything the fucking book does. They should have just followed the book exactly all the way through. The book was fucking phenomenal. Like unironically, no jokes here. Like the Jurassic Park Lost World book is phenomenal. I had never read a book where it felt like I was watching a fucking movie before. But then, yeah, and then there's the book where the woman has an affair. And then there's the book where someone communicates with animals. I stopped reading that third one. That was the only book I didn't finish because there was like so many like unnecessary sex scenes in the book. I was like, I thought this was about a guy who communicates with. Oh, he wasn't having sex with the animals, by the way. I want to clarify that. It was a woman in there. But depending on how ugly she was, she may as well have been fucking a camel, right? But no, okay. All jokes aside, it was just a bunch of unnecessary sex scenes. I'm like, get back to the interesting shit about him communicating with animals. I don't care that he's fucking this big-breasted bitch. So, anyways, yeah, that was the library time. Now let's talk about how much I fucking stank in there. So, my door to my cell had like a little like mail slot, kind of like a little cubby, right? And that's important to remember for later. They would open the door, hand me my lunch tray. I'd eat it and then put it all the way across my cell and lay on my bed and watch them come in. And they visibly were holding their breath when they came in to get my tray. And I thought it was so funny that I just kept putting it all the way across the cell. Now, here's what they did to combat that. They would watch me eat on the camera inside my cell, and the moment I finished eating, they'd open the door and come on the intercom and say, "Go ahead and place your lunch tray out on the table." Clearly, the officers were complaining about how much that cell stunk. You want to know how much it stunk? They eventually stopped opening my door to give me my food and started opening the little mail slot cubby to slide my food through. They didn't want to smell what was inside that cell. Too much poopy balls for them. One of the cops did a strip search at the beginning of my sentence. He got to stargaze into my black hole. He told me to bend over and cough. I know he had to resist the urge to shove his fucking tongue up my ass. I know whenever I was like, so like that fucking schmuck I was wearing where you could just see my junk because I'm not allowed to wear underwear? I would like sleep like this with my fucking, like listen, I'm facing the window like this, laying down. I know everybody who walked past was fighting the urge to put one of my big black stinky balls up in their mouth. Also, the kiosk to access commissary was unusable. So you couldn't even go up to the kiosk and like get anything with commissary because someone had decided to just fucking punch it as hard as they could. There was like glass spider webs all over the kiosk, and the touchscreen no longer worked. So some asshole ruined that for everybody. And if you tried to pick up the phone to like call someone to talk to them, the audio was so low that there's just no point in calling anybody. It was like, hey, how you going? Yeah, like that's how low the audio sounded with the fucking phone. So I couldn't call anybody. I couldn't access commissary. My grandma says she sent me $25. Sucks for her. I don't know if she's going to get that back. Cause I wasn't told anything. Also, the cops were supposed to do fingerprints. They didn't do those. The Burlington cops are lazy as shit. Or they're busy as shit. One or the other. One or the fucking other. But, yeah, I think that's about all the funny shit that happened. The rest of it is just me pacing back and forth in my cell. Bored as fuck. It was not fun. I didn't feel unsafe. I didn't get raped or shanked. But I was pretty fucking bored. It was a long 26 days. I would like this to actually be my last time going to jail. But then again, trilogies do seem tempting. Yeah, my grandma will beat my ass, but anyways, that's about all that happened. That's about all the interesting shit that happened. Oh, there was an inmate that looked almost exactly like Jesse from Breaking Bad. I guess I'll throw that in there. Oh, one thing I want to talk about more. Approved for streaming the movie. So I didn't have pencil and paper to write anything down with, but I came up with a lot of new ideas for approved for streaming, and I'm very excited to add that to my movie that I'll submit to Tubi. I don't know if Tubi will take it. I feel like my chances are higher because my balls and my butthole aren't in it, but we'll see. And it's going to take, I'm probably not going to finish the movie until 2027, honestly. And here's the reason for that. So, you know, in all my previous movies, I basically play every single character with an occasional cameo from one of my white friends in it. Well, this movie I'm making just isn't like that. There are at least 18 people playing characters that are not played by me. There's 18 friends and family members who are going to be in the movie with me, and I have to work around all of their schedules. That's why the movie's going to take so long, because it's not all me playing every character. Not this time. Not this time.
Oh, my glasses. Where's my glasses? Oh, jinkies. Oh, there's my glasses.
That's me, thick kettle corn.
POV, you're Reese Thorne, and you're getting woken up by one of the cops.